By dust storms has the way station been affected. What damage there is to us is not known. The place of the chariots in the Eden must be established, there from the gold directly from Earth to Nibiru to be carried. No way station on Mars shall henceforth be needed. The plan of Ninurta it is. Great in these matters is his understanding. Let him the place of the chariots near Bad Tibira establish. Let Ninurta be its first commander. Anu to the words of Enlil gave much consideration. To Enlil a response he gave, Enki and Marduk to Earth are returning. What about the moon they have found? Let us first to their words listen. From the moon, Enki and Marduk departed. To Earth they did return. Of conditions thereon they gave account. A way station is unfeasible now, so they reported. Let the place of the celestial chariots be built, Anu was saying. Let Marduk be its commander, Enki was saying to Anu. The task is for Ninurta set aside, Enlil with anger shouted. For the Igigi command is no more needed. Of the tasks at hand, Marduk has knowledge. Of the gateway to heaven, let Marduk be in charge. So did Enki to his father say. Anu the matter with concern contemplated. Rivalries now the sons have affected. With wisdom was Anu endowed. With wisdom were his decisions. The place of the chariots for new ways the gold to handle is designated. Let us what henceforth comes in the hands of a new generation place. Neither Enlil nor Enki, neither Ninurta nor Marduk in command shall be. Let the third generation responsibility undertake. Let my grandchild Utiu be the commander. Let the place of the celestial chariots be built. Let Sippar, Bird City, be its name. Unalterable was the word of the king. In the 81st Shah was the construction started. The plans of Enlil it followed. Nibruki was in the center, a navel of the earth by Enlil it was designated. As on circles by their place from Skyview, the olden cities were located. Like an arrow from the lower sea toward the mountains pointing they were arrayed. A line on the twin peaks of Arata, to the skies in the north reaching, he drew, where the pointing arrow the Arata line intersected. The place for Sippar, the earth's place of the chariots, he marked out. To it the arrow directly led. It from Nibruki was by an equal circle precisely located. Ingenious was the plan. By its precision all were made to wonder. In the 82nd Shah was the construction of Sippar completed. To the hero Utiu of Enlil the grandson, its command was given. An eagle's helmet for him was fashioned, with eagle's wings was he decorated. In the first chariot from Nibiru to Sippar directly come, Anu was traveling. To view for himself the installations he desired, to marvel at what was attained he wanted. For the occasion, the Igigi by Marduk commanded, from Mars to Earth came down, from the landing place and from the Abzu, Anunnaki were assembled. There was backslapping and hailing, a feast and a celebration. For King Anu, Iana, Enlil's granddaughter known for being a warrior goddess, singing and dancing she presented. With affection Anu kissed her. Anunitu, Anu's beloved, he fondly called her. Before departing, Anu the heroes and heroines assembled. A new era has begun, so was he to them saying, supplied directly with the golden salvation, forthcoming is the end of toil. Once enough gold on Nibiru for protecting is piled in storage, the toil on earth can be diminished, heroes and heroines to Nibiru will return. Thus did Anu the king to the assembled promise, a great hope to them he did extend. A few more shahs of toil and homeward they shall be bound. With much happiness did Anu to Nibiru soar back, gold, pure gold with him was carried. His new task Utiu with cherish performed, Ninurta of Bad Tibira command retained. Marduk to Mars did not return. With his father to the Abzu he did not go. Over all the lands he wished to roam, in his skyship the earth to comprehend of the Igigi, some on Mars, some on Earth. Utiu was the command turned, on Earth. The leaders great expectations had, with renewed vigor to labor, the Anunnaki they expected. Gold quickly to amass, thereby quicker homebound to be. That alas was not what came to pass. In the Abzu, relief not continued toil, was the Anunnaki's expectation. Now that the earthlings are proliferating, let them provide the labor. So were the Anunnaki in the Abzu saying. In the Eden, the tasks were greater. More abodes, more provisions were required. For primitive workers to the Abzu confined, did the Eden heroes clamor. For 40 shahs was relief only to the Abzu provided. The heroes in the Eden shouted, "Our toil has increased beyond endurance. Let us have the workers too." While Enlil and Enki the matter were debating, Ninurta the decision into his hands took. With 50 heroes an expedition to the Abzu he led, with weapons were they armed. In the forests and the steppes of the Abzu, the earthlings they chased. With nets they them captured, male and female to the outdoor laboratories of Eden they them brought. To do all manner of chores, in the orchards and in the cities, they trained them. By the doings was of Ninurta, and Enlil Enki was angered. By earthlings Enlil was enraged. "My expelling of Adam and Eve you have overturned." Enlil to Ninurta said, "Let the mutiny once in the Abzu occurring, not in the Eden, be repeated." Enlil said to his son Ninurta, "With the earthlings in the Eden the heroes are becalmed. A few more shars and it will no longer matter." Ninurta said. Enlil was not appeased with grumbling. "Let it so be," to his son he said. "Let the gold pile up quickly. Let us all to Nibiru return soon." In the Eden, the Anunnaki and the earthlings with admiration they observed. Intelligence they possessed. Of commands they had understanding. They took over all manner of chores. Unclothed, they were the tasks performing. Males with females among them were constantly mating. Quick were their proliferations. In one shar, sometimes 4, sometimes more, were their great As the earthlings grew in numbers, workers the Anunnaki gods finally had. With food, the Anunnaki gods were not satiated. Enlil proclaimed that all inhabitants of Earth would gather sustenance for the Anunnaki heroes, now revered as gods by the people. In return for prayers and affection, offerings were expected to be presented. In the cities and in the orchard, in the valleys and in the hills. The earthlings for food were constantly foraging for their beloved gods. In those days, grains had not yet been brought forth. There was no ewe, a lamb had not yet been fashioned. About these matters, Enlil to Enki angry words was saying, "By your doings confusion was created, by you let salvation be devised." Now this is the account of how civilized man was brought into place. By a secret of Enki, 2 unknown earthlings named Adapa and Titi in the Eden were brought forth by Enki. By the proliferation of the earthlings, Enki was pleased but was worried. The lot of the Anunnaki was greatly eased, their discontent was diminished. By the proliferation the Anunnaki shunned toil, the earthling workers as slaves were they becoming. For 7 shars, the Anunnaki's lot was greatly eased, diminished was their discontent. By the proliferation of the earthlings, what by itself was growing for all insufficient was. In 3 more shars of fish and fowl there was a shortage. What by itself grows, Anunnaki and earthlings did not satiate. In his heart, Enki, a new undertaking, was scheming. To create a civilized, intelligent earthling in his heart he conceived, grains that are sown by them to be cultivated. How this to attain he contemplated. The primitive workers in the Abzu he for this scheme observed, the earthlings in the Eden, in the cities and in the orchards he considered. What could for the tasks make them suited for? What by the life essence and DNA has not been combined? The offspring of the earthlings he observed, an alarming matter he noticed. By their repeated copulations, back toward their wild ancestors, they were degrading. Later, Enki decided, instead of watching from the heavens, to go upon the earthlings and observe. Enki entered the halls of a rejuvenation of advanced technologies he and consciousness transferred into a body of his liking, and relative to the appearance of the earthlings. In the marshlands, he looked about on the rivers he sailed and observed. With him was only Isimud, his vizier, whose secrets he kept. On the river's bank, bathing and frolicking earthling women he noticed. 2 females among them were wild with beauty, firm were their breasts. Upon their sight, the phallus of Enki caused to water, a burning desire he had. "Shall I not kiss the young ones?" his vizier Isimud inquired of Enki. "I the boat will hither and row towards them. Kiss the young ones," Isimud to Enki was saying. The boat there to Isimud directed. From the boat to dry land, Enki stepped in the appearance. A young one to him Enki called, a tree fruit she to him offered. Enki bent down, the young one lie embraced. On her lips he kissed her. Sweet were her lips, firm with ripeness were her breasts. Into her womb he poured his seed, in a mating he knew her. Into her womb she took the seed, by the seed of the Lord God Enki she was impregnated. The second young one to him Enki called, berries from the field she offered him. Enki bent down, the young one he embraced, on her lips he kissed her. Sweet were her lips, firm with ripeness were her breasts. Into her womb he poured his seed, in a mating he knew her. Into her womb she took the holy seed, by the seed of the Lord Enki she was impregnated.